Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Pamela Zanele, aka ZanPam. I am posting my 5th video since my return, and the first one was about why I disappeared and why I came back on social media. And if you haven't seen that yet, you're welcome to just go have a look at it and follow the series. I've created a playlist so that it's easier to just follow along. And, you know, as usual, I would just like to thank each and every one of you for the words of encouragement, for the support, for the love. And honestly, I was not expecting this kind of support. I was not expecting so much positivity. I was not expecting my videos to be received so warmly and, you know, with just so much love. It's motivating, it keeps me going, and thank you guys so much. I'm sure if you make a comparison between the first video and right now, you can see that there's a glow, there's a lot of improvement also with how I sound, the energy in my voice. It's because I am, with each video that I upload and with each word and message of support that I receive, it's just so healing. And the reason why I started anyway was to begin my healing journey and take you along with me. And I'm excited to share with you that, you know, the hard and the uncertain parts of that phase is done, and I'm excited to take you along this journey where I actually put it all into practice and we go through the motions together. And that's the reason why I'm filming this video and putting it out today. I believe it's the first step, because one of the things that I realized made me feel so stuck without even knowing why I felt the way I did was because I couldn't put a name to what was going on. And, you know, I'm here to validate your feelings. And I'm here to say, whatever it is that you're feeling, you're not crazy. Someone might come and say, just ignore it. Please don't. Especially if it's in your gut. Especially if you feel like there's a nudge. There's something trying to tell you something. Really look into that, dig into that, and just try to understand. Scan your surroundings. Take stock of your life. Take stock of who is in your life, who drains you. Like every time you spend time with certain people, how do you feel? Do you feel uplifted? Do you feel good? Do you feel energized? Or do you feel drained? Do you feel like you had to overstretch yourself and, you know, just drain yourself? Or were they sucking the life out of you? Because one mistake that we make as well as human beings is that we allow people to come and offload their nonsense on us. And after that, they feel good, but now we are left with this load, and it just brings us down. So those are the things that you need to look at. And is this relationship healing? Is it worth it? Is it worth my risking my own life? Because at some point, it does begin to be a matter of life and death. So I'm just here to, you know, make you feel more at ease, to put a name to whatever it is that you're feeling. I'm obviously basing it off of my personal experience. It's not everything that I've been experiencing. I just wanted to narrow it down to 7 things. Obviously, we are going to continue on as I plan on posting more videos and raising more awareness based on the knowledge that I have, based on the knowledge that I got, that was imparted in me by my therapists, my friends as well, who've been in similar situations. And so it's not only my personal experience, it's also the professional experience from I see both a therapist, a psychiatrist. I see both a psychologist and a psychiatrist, because I was on antidepressants. Now I'm off, but now we're just trying to I think I mentioned, it was in an interview that I had. There was a podcast that I was interviewed on where I spoke more clearly about, you know, seeing a therapist is more like a healing, like letting go and processing things and trying to understand the situation that you're in, whereas with a psychiatrist, it's more him putting it just giving things names and explaining how the brain works and interacts with the body. So I'm still seeing both, and that has been very helpful in my healing journey. I saw one of the comments from Minnie K. Thank you very much for your positive feedback and your responses in the past videos as well. I will talk about, I will probably, put out a short video on how to pick a therapist, how to choose someone that is right for you, especially in a foreign country, in a non-English speaking country like I am right now. I'm in the German part, but I feel like there's so many other options, and it doesn't have to be the traditional way where you go to their practice. It can also be online. So as well, there's apps like BetterHelp. I feel like it's the more affordable route, but there's also another layer to it. You don't just choose a therapist. You need to pick someone that resonates with you, that you feel comfortable with, that will understand your background and you. Like if you're a black person, for example, or if you're a woman, for example, it needs to be someone that gets it, that understand what historically as black women we've been through and our struggles, because how does that help? And if, say, you're a Christian or you're not a Christian, you probably would want to, choose for someone who respects and understands your values and your spiritual practices as well. So I was lucky enough to find someone who truly gets it. She is Swiss, but she is well traveled and she's well spoken, so she speaks English. And because I also speak a bit of German, we were able to communicate perfectly fine. My psychiatrist as well speaks very good English. So, and that's because of where I'm at. I'm in Canton Zug, where it's quite international, it's quite metropolitan. There's a lot of international companies here. So you do find that a lot of practices do help people in English. But without further ado, today's video is how to spot a narcissist. And this is something that I had to sit down and write down because it's a mouthful. I could sit here all day and, just talk more and more on this topic, but I feel like let's narrow it down to just 7 things. And yeah, so let's get to today's video. And I wrote this down because I felt like it was one of the things that really drained me about the marriage I was in, because this person made their happiness my job. And I tried so hard to show them videos and make them read pieces and just make them understand that, no, your happiness actually is not my job, it's not my responsibility, because that's a huge load to carry. You make yourself happy. You do the things that make you happy. You fill yourself up. I fill myself up. Obviously, it's not always, I'm not always going to fill myself up to the max. Sometimes I have to pour into sometimes you have to pour into me, and I have to do the same for you as well. But I need to fill myself because I cannot pour from an empty cup, and that's what I mean. So he made it my job to make him happy, and if he was not happy, it was my fault. And I had to learn that the hard way, because you think it's something that is not such a big deal, because you feel like you can make this person understand you and get you finally, but it unfortunately is not the case. They will suck the life out of you. They will make your life miserable as well, because misery loves company, and they will make it your fault that they are not happy. And that becomes very problematic, because when you are focusing on yourself, on your own growth, you become their number one enemy. And once again, I had to learn that the hard way. So when he came back home from work, he expected me to lay out a red carpet. Hey, fan him with palm leaves and, just give him this grand entrance, because he felt that is what I was supposed to do. And as most of you may know, not all days are the same. Things change a lot when you have a child. Things change a lot when you've got your own things going on. At some point I was also going through my own things, and I'm not always going to be in a good mood every day of the year, because I'm a woman. I experience hormone fluctuations, so that expectation was also pretty ignorant, and I feel like that's why I kind of ignored it, because I was like, nah, like, we have a child together, you expect me to meet you at the door and just be like happy? Because he would walk in, and if I am not smiling or happy or showing any sign of, hey, you're home, welcome home, it was a problem. Obviously I would meet him with a smile, greet him with a smile, hi, how was your day, and all of that, but it was not enough. And I quickly realized that I was not going to be enough for this guy, because there was a void that was meant to be filled in his childhood that I was expected to fill, but I also have my own issues. So let's get into how to spot a narcissist. So number one on the list is you start making their happiness your job, because if he's in a bad mood, you also have to kind of adjust your behavior to accommodate him. If he's in a good mood and you are unfortunately not in such a great mood, you have to adjust your behavior as well. So you kind of always have to match him, and you kind of always have to make sure that he stays happy, because how dare you not keep him happy? How dare you not do your job? It's your job. Whether he does it for you or not is not his problem. The main thing here is you need to understand that a narcissist doesn't understand boundaries. A narcissist doesn't understand that you need to practice self-love. It's a foreign language to them. So whenever I would come with the concept of, hey, you need to make yourself happy, and I need to make myself happy, and when we come together and share our happiness, it just becomes even more enhanced. It makes the experience great. He didn't understand that. And it's funny because he had certain expectations. He expected me to make him happy the way he wanted me to make him happy. And even if I lived up to those expectations, it still wasn't enough. It still wasn't, yeah, you did it with half a smile. You didn't do it with a full smile. Oh yeah, but you didn't wear my favorite color shirt. You know, there was always something. So you were just never going to win with this person. Whereas for them, they always wanted to do the bare minimum. I remember this time he forced me, he actually wanted to force me to love sunflowers, because this one time I dared to look out the window as we were driving and say, oh wow, sunflowers, they're so beautiful. I love sunflowers. I want to do a little shoot in the sunflowers. And honey, even if I dared to look at a rose or a tulip or whatever, no, but you don't like those. I know what you like sunflowers. So sunflowers would be shoved in my face. So he still wants to dictate to you what makes you happy, but he can tell you what makes him happy and how you should do it, how you should execute it, but you were not allowed. And if you dared to say, oh yeah, but I've changed, I don't like sunflowers anymore, now I like roses or I like tulips, it just became a whole disaster. So that is the one thing that you need, one of the things, not the one thing, that is one of the things that you have to look out for. Monitor how they are, especially around happiness, especially around you showing yourself some love, you doing things for yourself, you making yourself happy, and watch how he behaves around that. You know, even when you're starting out a new relationship, ask the person, what do you think about happiness? Are you able to fill your own cup? Are you able to make yourself happy? What do you do to make yourself happy? So those are some of the things that you need to ask your potential partner. Number 2 is double standards with appearance. And this is going to sound absolutely ridiculous because it is. I had this, there's a fine line between the good kind of jealous and the toxic kind of jealous. And because I'm someone who likes giving people, second chances and even maybe 100 chances. But I've changed. I had to change. It's because of where I was at in life, a people pleaser. And it was not working in my favor because he wanted me to look good only when I was with him. And if I dared to say that I'm doing it for myself, it was a problem. Like I had to be doing it for him. So it builds up to number 1, which was they make their happiness your responsibility. Because what do you mean that you are looking the way you look for yourself and not for me? Like, what is that? Whether he bought you the makeup or the clothes or the weave or whatever, you have to be doing it for him and not for yourself. But another layer to that is if you dared to go out looking good, even if it's just putting on mascara, going out without him looking good, it was a problem. And the funny thing about that is they put zero effort in how they look. It's not all of them. There are men who like really do look after themselves, they take care of themselves. But in my case, it wasn't like that. I would be all dressed up, looking good, smelling good, and I don't want to sound mean, but I feel like if you expect someone to look good, someone next to you looking good, looking fresh, looking fine, you also have to pull in the weight. You understand? Sometimes it just looked like we come from 2 different households because he would just throw something on, but I was expected to look good whenever we went out together. Number 3 is my favorite. It's the love bombing early on and sometimes in between. The reason why I say sometimes in between is that whenever they see you, feel that you're slipping away, whenever they feel that now you're starting to figure them out, they would come with love bombing you again. And this comes in the form of gifts, trips. It also comes in the form of showering you with compliments, with words of affection, with promises. Oh my goodness, the promises. Don't let me get started. But they just, give you this picture. They paint this. So they're very good storytellers. And Narcissist is a very good storyteller. He will tell you about how there's this upcoming project that he's working on. And he's not really sure if he should take it on because he wants to spend more time with you or more time with his family. But, ask for your input. What do you think? Do you think I should take it or not? Is this a good idea? And if you say yes, take it on. But then later, because there's no such thing, it doesn't exist, he will come back and say, yeah, but I did it because I want to spend more time with you. Money doesn't matter. I just want to be with you and make sure that, I see you every day. And it goes on and on until you realize that, hey, were these opportunities even there to begin with? And listen, I'm not saying that, especially for me, because I'm basing it off of my experience, I'm not saying that he was not successful or he was not doing well for himself. He is. And he, even back then, he was even more, he was making even more money than he is right now. But I feel like there was just so many empty promises. There was just so many false hope given, that this is what I'll do, this is what I'll do. And what happens is, because when you start asking, oh, but you said this, and that, how dare you do that? Because you will get the biggest tongue lashing and guilt trip session of your life. Because how dare you ask me about that? Or am I not enough for you? Am I not good enough for you? Okay, then go find someone who's good enough. So that was the love bombing phase. So they will love bomb you and you will feel like you're the only girl in his world until he flips And if you dare ask, if you dare challenge him or remind him of the promises that he made, good luck to you. The fourth one is it builds up from love bombing earlier on, and it is withdrawal and devaluation. So after they've love bombed you, they've won you over, you're both comfortable, you know, you're feeling good, and then the compliments and the gifts get replaced with criticism, silent treatment. A narcissist's favorite thing to do is giving you the silent treatment. It is not normal. It is also a form of abuse. If someone does that to you as a way to sort of manage you or get you to act in line, it's a form of abuse because of how you begin. You will get sick. And I know someone who was in a 4-year relationship with someone who would do that. Like, this person would disappear for 3 months on end if she dared to do something to upset him. If she dared to say, hey, I want to spend time with my girls tonight, like they've invited me for dinner, he would say, okay, go ahead. And then after that, he would just disappear. And it is a form of abuse because she did eventually get sick. Because sickness is not only physical, but she had a mental breakdown. So, you know, watch out for such things. Silent treatment is not normal. And also, you know, someone just love bombing you, showering you with gifts and love and words of affection, and then just suddenly turning back and nitpicking, you know, oh yeah, but you know what, your hair, I don't like how your hair looks, you should change that. Or yeah, actually it's too much makeup. Oh yeah, actually you're a bit fat, you know, because I unfortunately was a victim of that as well, where I was getting body shamed by the person I was married to, where sometimes he would even take pictures of, you know, me with maybe a bulging stomach, like in compromising positions, and he would send them to me like, yeah, look how fat you are. And you know, the funny thing about all of that is he wasn't in a good shape either, but I had to be the one to look good, because it's like you're a trophy. Like, you need to look good, you need to make him look good, and it doesn't matter what he looks like. He can just roll out of bed, but you need to look good, you know. So the nitpicking starts. So you go from being the most beautiful, most amazing, most smartest person, and to being just not enough. Like, you're not enough. There's nothing in this world you can do to be enough for this person. Number 5, competition with you. So when I tell you that it becomes so confusing, especially with someone who is 25 years older than you, when he starts competing with you, it's just so baffling. And it takes a minute, because remember, you're also going through this cycle of gaslighting of, remember, he has worked you long enough to make you not trust your decision making or your own observations or your own views of things. You know, you don't trust yourself anymore. So you begin questioning, like, okay, but is this guy competing with me? Is this really happening? Because instead of celebrating my wins, he always tried to one-up me. Like, I had moments where he'd hear about someone helping me with something, especially maybe at work or this and this and that, or maybe I'm on the phone with someone, and he would come and try to outdo that person. Or if I decided now that I'm gonna start working out, you know, instead of it feeling like, oh yeah, no, we're doing this together, we're working out together, it was a competition. You know, how many calories did you burn today? I burned more than you. You know, things like that. And it's like, we're supposed to be a team, you know. So it became a competition. There's so many things that I can make reference of, but also with parenting, you know, like, yeah, but I changed 5 diapers today. How many did you change? When we would be on vacation, for example, and we come back, he would say, yeah, this is how much I spent. Let's give an example. I spent 500 Swiss francs. How much did you spend? So it became a competition, even at some point with, you know, when we are walking in the streets, and because I'm looking good, there are some men, and it's not my fault, it's not my problem, but he would make it my fault or my problem, that there are people that look at me like that, you know, are just mesmerized, or they're just drooling, or he would make it my problem, he would make it my fault. And then he would say things like, oh yeah, he would come up with stories maybe sometime during the week, until it started to click that, oh no, oh, it's because of what happened over the weekend. So now he's coming, yeah, there's these women, when I'm at work, they come up to me, they hit on me, and you know, these women don't care if you're married. I mean, I've got this ring on my finger and they're just still hitting on me. And I was like, oh wow, silly women. But if I came and told him those stories, it was a huge problem. It was a problem. Like, how dare you do that? It means, yeah, you're into them. Yeah, maybe you snuck with them in the toilet or something. And that also builds up to me not being allowed to go out, him just completely being so moody whenever I wanted to go out. It was because it was a competition. He knew that, okay, with his friends, they wouldn't go to the type of places that I would go with my friends, you know. Again, it's the age difference. So this person is competing with a 33-year-old and he is what, 58. So it just became very toxic. But that is another sign he's a narcissist. Number 6, this one, I just felt it was so sick. He still does it. And you know, sometimes you just feel like, I wish I knew better. But at the same time, you're like, this is the most beautiful thing that this person has ever given me, because he unfortunately uses our child to get to me. And for the sensitivity of it all, I do not want to get too deep around it, but just know that if anyone uses your child, especially a small child, an unsuspecting child, to get to you, you are dealing with a bad person. This person does not care about the child's well-being. This person does not like you. This person does not love you. This person is dangerous, because if he feels the need to get your child involved, or to use your child as a weapon against you to frustrate you, then he hates you more than he loves the child. And all I can say to you is run. A narcissist will always keep going for more vulnerable targets. And this is a pattern that I saw from him. The woman that he married before me, he married her at a very young age. And they had a child when she was very young. And she stepped out of the marriage also at a very young age. She was still, yeah, she was in her 30s. Oh my goodness. She was 32, 33 when they went their separate ways. Oh my goodness. And same goes with me. You know, I was around that age. I was 33. So this guy has gone on to get himself a girlfriend who has quite similar features to me, and she is a lot younger. it does not move me like, he has moved on or whatever. He can do whatever he wants to do with his life. The only problem I have is how he was using my child, because there was no way I was going to find out that he's in a relationship or in whatever you call that if he did not expose my child to it. You know, sending pictures of this person, that's how I know. Sending pictures of this person to my child's iPad, because he knows I will go through my child's iPad too. You know, I always check to make sure that it's safe, it's, you know, it's okay, she's using it the way it should be used. He knew that I obviously did that. I always did that. And he sent pictures and videos of this person. And the first thing I said was, poor girl, because it's a young woman, she's an easier target. And whatever lies he's telling her, I just hope that she can heal from whatever the hell he's going to put her through. Because as he ages, he becomes more insecure, he becomes more, I would say, abusive, you know, verbally. He becomes more frustrated. You know, I feel the first thing I said was, poor girl, because I just hope she has the strength to walk out of this, to walk away from this when the time comes. Because now, yes, definitely, it's still the lies, it's the love bombing, it's the gifts, the trips and everything. Good for her. Let her, you know, like I would always encourage someone like, girl, get what you gotta get as much as you can get out of this, but when it's time to go, you need to know. And you know, to conclude this video, because I'm trying to keep it short, I think if it's not a story time, let's try to keep it as short as possible. But one thing that I've learned is that you are not responsible for another adult's happiness. And if someone has certain expectations, just know that you will never be enough for a narcissist. You will never be enough for someone who expects you to make them happy. You will never be enough for someone who makes their happiness your responsibility, because they're not ready, they're not willing to put in the work. And if you feel like you're walking on eggshells, adjusting your entire life to keep them happy, just know that it's not love. It's not love. I had to learn it the hard way that this man never loved me. He never loved me. Because once you snap out of it and you look into it, you observe everything, you realize that this person didn't love you. They had this idea of who they could make you become, but you didn't become that because you were strong enough to walk away and say, no, this is not me. You resisted. There was resistance on your end. And it frustrated them. And you realize that you could never be the person that they love, because another thing is they are incapable of love. A narcissist is incapable of loving someone else but themselves. They can't do it. It's not your fault. It's not you. It's them. So that's why I'm saying, when you start feeling like you have to adjust yourself or walk on eggshells, and you know you're the one that is making the changes, but they're perfectly fine. Because even in my case, he would tell me that, hey, listen, I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine. I'm a good person. I'm great. You're the problem. That person doesn't love you. That person is clearly delusional. They think that they are the prize. And that is giving feminine energy. So if you're both in your feminine energy, nothing's going to move, girl. Get a move on. If there's any moving that needs to happen, it's you. Get moving. And don't wait for him to discard you like a piece of rubbish. You really need to, whenever you're starting a new relationship or you're talking to someone, you need to ask the important questions, especially around happiness, self-love. Like, how do they feel about doing things for themselves, making themselves whole? How do they feel about giving you freedom to do things, to be out there, to be with your friends, to spend time with your friends. It's not even about going out or going out partying or going to a restaurant or whatever the case may be. Just to go and spend time with your friends, just to be on the phone. Because there was another thing that he did that was very toxic, knowing very well that I don't live in my home country. You took me out from my home country, but he had an issue with me being on the phone with family and friends and all of that. He had an issue with that. And you begin to, like, this person is trying to isolate you from your friends and family so that they can control you. And if you start feeling like that, if they start making you feel guilty, and I'm not saying excessively be on your phone or whatever the case may be, but especially if you're not in your home country, you are away from home, and this person makes you feel bad about being in contact with your loved ones, that is a red flag. And you need to go. You need to start looking at your exit strategy, because this person is trying to control you. And the worst kind is when they isolate you from everyone else. Because if you have, and they know it very well, if you have a community, if you have people, friends, who are able to make you see things outside of him, he starts panicking. And that's why he had a problem with me learning the language. He had a problem with me having friends. He had a problem with me knowing my way around. That's why he wanted to be the one driving me around. Like, if I dared to say, oh no, I know how to get there, oh, I know how this works, he would get upset. His face would change. Like, how do you know all of that? How dare you? You know, I brought you here. I'm the one that tells you. If I tell you that this is what you're supposed to know, this is what you're supposed to know. You know, so if you start feeling like that, that is your cue to leave. And I pray that you have the strength to do that. And once again, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for your beautiful comments and your words of encouragement and support. If this resonated with you, please, you know, leave a comment. You can send me an email. You can send me a DM on Instagram as well. Join my channel on Instagram. I'll start posting, you know, tips and updates on what's happening, what we're doing next, because since we are over 3,000 watch hours, I have gotten into the first stage of being monetized, where I can have memberships under my channel. I'm still doing research on that, how we can best use it, how it could be beneficial to those who would like to become members. So I'm still doing research on that, because I do know that there's certain things that I don't want to just share like that. So maybe we could use one of the membership tiers to share story times, you know, on dating, on, you know, crazy stories, crazy things that have been happening during this time, even before that. Just a more chilled, laid back type of vibe. But I feel like this main channel should be more around healing. I will do more research, and if you have any suggestions on how we can navigate through that, with, you know, what you would like me to talk about, what you would like to hear more about, you know, feel free to drop it in the comments, or send me an email, or send me a DM. But don't forget to, you know, go join my channel on Instagram. I think on the 1st of September, I want to start, you know, like a challenge, you know, just easing back into healing, or just stepping out. I don't know how I'm going to structure it, but it's called Pretty Healed Things. Very original, but yeah, I like the name. So yeah, if you're on Instagram, follow me. It's ZanPam_, and do join my channel. Let's interact, let's vibe, and let's have a good time. But other than that, have a good week ahead. I know I'm uploading this on Sunday, and I'm starting to think that maybe I should be uploading my videos on Sundays, because I just don't have time during the week. So yeah, I think let's start uploading the videos on Sundays. I'm sorry if you preferred Fridays, but life is getting a bit hectic. Little one has started kindergarten. She's in big school. crazy, and I also started a new job. So yeah, exciting times, but also I don't want to commit to Fridays anymore because I don't want to disappoint. So yeah, let's change upload days to Sundays for now. We'll see how it goes. So let's not commit. But yeah, thank you so much for your love and support. Please like this video, share it with someone who you think would, benefit from this, and do leave your beautiful comments in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next video. I love you so much, and thank you very much for your love and support. Bye.